Why did several Ghanaian men offer to cook for me while I was there? Honestly, I had no idea what was going on. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence, but then another man offered to cook, and then another, and another. But it didn't stop there. On other occasions, complete strangers who were having a meal would smile and say, "You are invited," several times. No one knew they were teaching me lessons, but they were. And here's the shocker. One day after my visa interview, the immigration official surprised me by offering to share his lunch with me. That's when it finally hit me. Ghana taught me something I'll never forget. Every culture has its language of care. I wasn't just experiencing random acts of kindness. I was experiencing something deeper. Friends, I wasn't just learning about food. I was learning about a culture that says, "You matter." In this video, I'll share the 3 lessons that Ghana quietly taught me about the cultural language of care through these unexpected invitations. And if you stay with me to the end, I'll share the lesson that has stayed with me the longest and continues to challenge the way I see the world. Could this be the kind of culture that could help the world to be a better place? Stay tuned. Welcome back, beautiful people. I'm Angie Marie, and on this channel, I share life lessons discovered through travel, because sometimes the greatest journeys don't just change where we go, they change who we become. And honestly, I've changed a lot since traveling back and forth to Ghana. Before traveling to Ghana, if someone had asked me what I thought men would be like, cooking for me or inviting me to share a meal would have been one of the last things on my list. So naturally, I started asking myself questions. Was this just the personality of the people I happened to meet? Was I simply getting lucky? Or was there something about the culture that I didn't yet understand? The more I reflected on those experiences after returning home, the more one realization kept coming back to me. It changed the way I think about hospitality, strength, and even the purpose of travel itself. Before anyone misunderstands this video, let me say something that's very important. I'm not suggesting that every Ghanaian man is the same. And I'm certainly not saying that every experience in every country is identical. Every nation has its strengths and its challenges, and every person is unique. It's possible that I've just been blessed to have met the best persons in the world. The best persons could have been drawn to me, but yet I still think there is something about the Ghanaian culture. It's not just being drawn to me. I'm simply sharing what repeatedly happened to me and the lessons it taught me. When I first arrived in Ghana, I was not looking for a relationship. I wasn't looking for romance. I had gone there because I needed peace. I needed space to rebuild after some difficult seasons of my life. I took a sabbatical. My heart was focused on restoration, not relationships. So when the unexpected started happening, men offering to cook for me and I having to smile and politely decline because I was just not used to that. I remember thinking, what's going on here? I couldn't understand why this kept happening. Eventually, I stopped asking why people kept offering me food and started asking a better question. What kind of culture produces this response so naturally? That's when I realized that food wasn't the story. The invitation was. Looking back, I realized that I really wasn't just learning about food. I was learning about a culture that quietly tells people, "You matter." What was Ghana trying to teach me through these meals? So here are the 3 lessons. Number 1, care makes room for you. You are invited. Lesson number 1 has to do with actions. You are invited.
That hospitality is much bigger than a meal. Hospitality is making another human being feel like they belong. Food was simply the language. The real message was, you are welcome here. Imagine how different our communities would be if more people lived with that mindset. Imagine if strangers felt less like strangers because someone chose to make room for them.
My heart bled some days ago when I saw a video clip online where Ghanaians were being sent home because of what was going on in South Africa. Our own brothers and sisters of like skin tone and everything felt that we are not wanted there. And it pained me to observe and to see that. In some ways, I understand how South Africa feels. It's a country that has suffered a lot, that has been going through a lot, and they're trying to protect what they believe is their own. However, on the other side, I can understand how Ghanaians feel, because honestly, Ghanaians are not like that. They are the most welcoming people I've ever met. And yes, in many ways, in terms of Caribbean culture, Caribbean people have that tendency also. We're very welcoming, hospitable people, Haitians, Jamaicans, and the other Caribbean people. But I've observed that the root of this is coming from West Africa. It's in our bones, it's in our DNA, it's in our genes. It came from our ancestors. That hospitality, that warmth, that generosity that I see among Jamaicans, among Haitians, it's coming straight there from the continent of Africa, from our motherland. Thank you so much, Ghana. Lesson 2 has to do with the values, service, that care. I will cook for you.
The second lesson surprised me even more. I began rethinking what strength really looks like. Before traveling, if someone had asked me to describe a strong man, I probably would have talked about physical strength, hard work, protection, determination, and resilience. Those qualities matter, but Ghana quietly expanded my definition. I met men who seemed completely comfortable serving others without feeling that it somehow diminished their masculinity. Ghanaians' values, care, serves you, and that includes the offers to cook. It made me wonder whether real strength isn't just measured by how much someone can lift, but also by how much peace they bring into a room. Perhaps inner strength is revealed through generosity, kindness, confidence, and service, just as much as through physical power. The third lesson is my favorite because it reaches far beyond Ghana.
Lesson 3. Care leads to transformation. I returned home seeing people and cultures differently.
Travel has an incredible way of exposing assumptions we didn't even know we had. Sometimes we think we're traveling to discover another country, but in reality, we're discovering ourselves. We realize we've carried ideas about people, cultures, and even ourselves without ever questioning them. Then one simple experience changes everything. Looking back now, I don't remember every meal I ate in Ghana. I don't remember every restaurant or every recipe, but I do remember how people made me feel. I remember the warmth. I remember the invitations. I remember the unexpected kindness. Those memories have lasted for longer than the food itself.
So next time, don't just ask whether another culture cares. Rather, ask how that culture shows it.
So people often ask me what my favorite part of Ghana was. Was it the beaches, the history, the music, beautiful scenery? Of course, those things were wonderful, but what touched me most was something much harder to photograph. It was a culture that repeatedly reminded me that kindness doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes kindness is simply looking at another human being and saying, you are invited. What if our neighborhoods looked more like that? What if our workplaces looked more like that? What if our families looked more like that? What if we all became just a little more intentional about making people feel welcome? Maybe that's the greatest souvenir I brought home from Ghana. Not something I packed in my suitcase, but something I now carry in my heart.
I was quietly learning about a culture that tells people you matter. And that's a lesson I will carry with me for the rest of my life.
I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever visited a country that completely changed the way you see people? Or has someone shown you an unexpected act of kindness that has stayed with you for years? Share your story in the comments, because I have a feeling that the world needs more of these reminders. Sometimes the smallest invitations create the biggest changes.
Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I really appreciate you. Have you ever engaged with a culture that was warm, that was hospitable, that invited you in? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like this video, and if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm to know that you would like to see more content like this. Thank you so much. This is Angie Marie, and I'll check in with you in the next video.